Hey guys, so we got this Cobra back. We've had it painted for probably, I don't know, 2 years or so. We painted the entire thing, and it's back for a little bit of repair down here on the nose. So it's really cool to get like an old paint job back in. You get to like look at how your materials, your processes held up or how they didn't hold up. And so I kind of wanted to just go over some of the things that I've found, for better or for worse, with my paint job after it's aged a couple years. Also, we'll go over a little bit of PPF removal and we'll just get a good look at what we got here. So, here we go. So, first things first, this customer had this thing PPF'd, which is just like this clear plastic that goes over whatever you want to protect. And he had the entire car done, which is awesome because you're not going to get a whole bunch of rock chips. It's going to kind of protect from that. The issue with it, and the way a lot of people really mess it up, is they go and they get the car painted and they immediately do that. Because you don't want to get a rock chip, you just got it painted. You want to get it protected as quick as you can. That makes sense. However, the body shops catch a lot of flack for this, and it's not their fault at all. When you've just painted a car, all of that paint is still curing. There's gases coming out of that paint, and it's still it's still chemically open. So what happens is when you go and cover it with this PPF stuff here, it can't breathe. It can't gas off and cure. So it will start to lift the paint. It'll kill that adhesion. So it might look great for a while, but you get into a situation like this where we got to fix a little bit and we got to take this off. It's very common to pull clear or pull base, everything. Now, of course, we want to do our best to make sure our adhesion's good. It's good and scratched up. There's no shiny spots when we paint it. But sometimes it's just this PPF being put on too early and all that clear comes up. I've had to paint full cars before just because they put the PPF on too soon. And it was just a little repair I needed to do in the front, and all of the clear came up with that PPF. So what I always recommend is you wait 90 days after the paint job, and in that 90 days you put your car out in the sun as much as you possibly can to really bake that clear and that all of those paint materials that you just put on it as much as possible. And then once you get to 90 days, not only is the paint fully hardened and cured, you can go out back and buff it, anything that is shrunk, and you'll have a beautiful, beautiful paint job, and then you protect it. So unfortunately, proper maintenance of a brand new paint job, for the first 90 days, you might not be able to drive it very much. Or if you do, you're gonna run the risk of some rock chips. So it's unfortunate, but $40,000 paint jobs, I would wait. I wouldn't want to have to redo that. Okay, so we're going to want to heat this area up with the heat gun. Just get a good heat on everything you're going to peel. That way it's nice and flexible, and the adhesive is kind of softened up a little bit. Also, along that inside edge of the hood, you really want to get that good and soft so that comes off easy, because that actually bends around the corner and can be kind of a pain in the butt. Not only that, is if there's any adhesion problems with your paint, that's where it's going to pull. So get it nice and warm. Now, when pulling this up off, this is again why you need to have perfect adhesion. You really need to spend your time sanding, getting all the orange peel, any shiny bit off your paint when you're scuffing for new paint. Because when you go put this stuff on, you have to pull it straight up off. If you pull it back like this, maybe I can even see how much crap it leaves. If you pull it straight up, it takes all of the adhesive with it. So when you pull up, you're pulling that paint off of any surface. So if there's an adhesion problem, it's gonna just pop that paint right off and you're gonna be very angry. So make sure you do a good job scuffing and prepping for paint. One other thing that I dislike a little bit about this PPF, like it's a great product and it's a great idea. It's just kind of to me, I put so much effort into making these paint jobs just mirror flat, just super shiny. And then they go and PPF them, and PPF has a little bit of orange peel. I'll show you. Yeah, see all that orange peel? Right there? It's not much. I mean, it still looks beautiful. But like, it's just enough to annoy me because like I go and I make mine, let's see if I can get a, you know, like it's dead flat. There's nothing to it. It's the nature of the beast if you want it protected. And this guy drives the crap out of this car. He had it for like the first like 4 months or so, 4 or 5 months, and he put like 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it. So we like that. We really like that. So it's protected, it's good, and he can enjoy it. Now, with that last bit being said, with the orange peel, another thing that happens with a paint job as it ages, and again, body shops catch a lot of shit for, but it's just the nature of the beast. And some products do it a lot more than others, but it'll shrink. You will have, when it leaves the body shop, perfectly flat mirror finish. But over time, that clear kind of dries and it shrinks. If you think of like a raisin, it used to be a grape. As it dries, it shrivels up. Clear does the same thing. So you'll have just ever so slightly little bit of texture, a little bit of orange peel, a little fine orange peel that you'll have as it ages. Now, it's as simple as just buffing it again. I always tell all of my customers, give it 90 days, bring the car back, and I'll buff your car for free. I want it to be, I want my work to be as good as it possibly can be forever. After that 90 days, that clear is hard. It's not gonna cure, shrink anymore. So after that, you're good. But yeah, in that first 90 days, it'll shrink a little bit. The best way to like mitigate this a little bit is as I'm doing the process of the paint job, I have to let everything dry as long as I possibly can. So that's why I take so long on my projects, of course. Just letting it dry. Yeah. But primer, like I'll spray primer, won't touch it for like 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, it's out in the sun, curing as good as I can. Because that's one of those things that if you just jump right on it the next day, it's gonna shrink. You're gonna have sand scratches. You're gonna have all these problems. So letting it dry as long as you can is the best way to go forward. But you as a customer, you need to be patient with the body shop. If you're rushing them, they're gonna get on it the next day just to get it out and shut you up. So you're gonna have to deal with that. And unfortunately, like I won't do that. I won't allow a customer to do that because if they rush me, it gives a bad product and then they're coming back yelling at me because they got sand scratches and it's just because they were rushing me. So sometimes as a shop, you just got to tell your customers, hey, this is how it goes. This is why it takes so long, and just educate Educate your customer. Also, maybe another thing to note on these paint jobs and processes. Obviously, if you are a collision shop, yeah, you're gonna have to get on it the next day. You guy can't have a rental for 3 months when it's just a bumper replacement or something. So I think it's important to note there's different levels of body shop. Like my paint jobs basically start at like 35, 40 grand. So it's a different level of paint job than you might find at a shop that does a paint job for 10 grand. And even these days, 10 grand is still cheap for a paint job. I know the old internet says you should do it for 2,500, but that is absolutely crazy. I can't even hardly get the materials for 2,500 bucks. So anyways, it's important to know there's different tiers to different paint jobs. Okay, so what I'm talking about when I say the little tiny bit of shrinkage from the paint curing, let's see if I can find a good. Yeah, see, like right up in here, just that super fine orange peel. That's what I'm talking about. That's what people will see and complain about. That is so fine that you can just take a buffer with a wool pad, pretty good heavy compound, and just it cuts right out, and it'll look just as good as it did the day it left. And then that's how it's going to be. It's going to stay just like that. So if you go and PPF it, well, you're going to have the orange peel with PPF, but it'll still look good underneath. Or you could go and like ceramic coat it, or just keep some good wax on it, and it will stay beautiful forever. All right, I got that little area buffed up just to show that that little bit of shrinkage after curing can be buffed right out. It doesn't even need to be sanded. Some extreme cases, you might need a little like 2000 grit, but a little bit of buffing, and she's back to as pretty as she was. Let's see if we get a look at it. Yeah. That's nice. A couple other little things to note and know about a fresh paint job. Just like putting on the PPF, if you go and you put like a heavy wax or like ceramic coat it, anything like that over the surface, you're doing the same thing as what the PPF does, and you're sealing all of those gases that need to come out. You're sealing them in, and you can cause some real problems just like the PPF by doing that. So again, I like to tell everybody 90 days before you really do anything. And that's why I have my customers come back. In 90 days, a lot of things can happen. The clear is super soft, so even just washing it will kind of scratch it up a little bit. So they're micro scratches, they're nothing big, but at 90 days, it's always a good idea to give it a full once over with the buffer, make it really pretty and good, and then do your waxing and your PPF, your ceramic coating, stuff like that. Some other things while that paint is curing in those first 90 days, don't take a pressure washer to it. Like, it's super soft. A pressure washer, I guess it would be kind of rare, but it could blow off a chunk of stuff. There'd probably be an adhesion problem there, but I'd rather not deal with that. I'd rather not test that theory. I just hand wash them with a nice, clean wash mitt. That's about it though for like stuff you really want to do in those first 90 days. I'm sure I'm missing some, and put them down in the comments if you can think of some. So hopefully this has kind of helped give you some ideas or expectations, I guess, for what your paint job's going to do 3 months down the road after it's done. I think it's really important that people, if they find something, go to the body shop first. Let the body shop, or the person who did it, be the first to know about it. Don't go and drag the guy's name through the dirt just because you don't know that that's what happens. So just talk to them. Talk to them, go, hey, I got this thing, can you look at it, see what you can do? 9 times out of 10, if you're a decent person and you go about it in a, non-aggressive way, they'll do it right up because they want to stand by their product, and they want to make sure that their name and their reputation is upheld, because in this world, that's all you've got. If you keep screwing people over, you're not going to last long. So that's why, for me, I try to do the best work I possibly can, and then I don't have to worry about what anybody says, because the work speaks for itself. So hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. See you next time.